So recently we hit 100 subscribers, which is now 130, I'm pretty sure. Which isn't a whole lot, but considering how short-term and impulsive this channel was originally supposed to be in its creation, that's a big deal. And I'm just kind of surprised and wowed. Like, yeah, we hit the milestone I really wasn't expecting to hit. The fact that I have this fun little outlet where I can just say what I want and people will genuinely enjoy it is just really heartwarming, and I want to thank each and every one of you who's gotten me to this point. It's strange, particularly because looking back at my videos, I hate almost all of them. Either they're not scripted enough, they're too scripted to the point where I sound like I'm dead, or the audio is bad, certain ideas are just half-baked, or the editing is whatever. You know, I don't like rewatching these. But the thing is, with every one I make, I tangibly feel myself improve. And I want to keep going, you know? I want to see how much more I can make out of this name. So, thank you all for getting me to this point.
That said, I'm sure you all have plenty of questions for an elevated being such as myself.
Which is why on Twitter, I've asked you guys if you had any sort of questions you wanted to ask me. You know, we're doing the obligatory Twitter Q&A. Whatever, you all had questions. Let's get this over with. Are you a gamer? You f***ing know it!
This guy's not a f***ing gamer.
Do you prefer your Oreos soaked to the point where they become soft, or do you like it crunchy but still with milk? Yeah. Milk. Right. What do your teeth taste like? Plaque. Do you have a favorite muffin, and if so, what is it? Honestly, just a plain muffin with some Donkey Kong Country 2 menus sprinkled on top. That's enough for me to keep me going through the day. What are your top 10 video games? I know this sounds really extra, but I don't really like to keep favorites in mind when doing stuff like this, especially with games, because they set like a precedent for whatever I do play. So here's 10 of my favorites in no particular order. We're gonna talk about some of these later on, so be ready for that. What four-letter word can be written forward, backward, or upside down, and can still be read from left to right? Ooh? Noon. Okay, close enough. Do you like anime, and if so, what's your favorite? I like anime, but not like a whole lot of it. There's a couple shows that I really like. Like, JoJo's is a complete acid trip that is surprisingly well written when it wants to be. My Hero Academia has a lot of heart and emotional moments with good animation, and Baccano is just fun, hence why it's my favorite. I mean, you almost have to pirate it nowadays to really watch it, but I think that sacrifice is well worth it. This is basically the anime equivalent of a Tarantino movie, to put it best. I'm not gonna say too much about it for the sake of time, but just know that you're in for a good time with this show. Can you solve this, please? Alright, Sayan, what do you got for us? Oh, there's the Norwegian letter with the 0 and the line. That's, undefined, because Norway. If you could give a video game a movie adaptation, which game would you pick, and who would you cast? This is actually a pretty interesting question, in that not every game is really made for movie formatting. So for a while I had a hard time figuring out which game that I personally would like to see in this format, and eventually I've come to my answer. Red Dead Redemption, specifically the second one, I feel is perfect for this kind of formatting. As for casting, I have absolutely no idea how this would go, with such a wide variety of characters to pick for. But for a few options, I think Keanu Reeves would make a great John Marston, given how well-versed he is in like studio gunplay thanks to films like John Wick. I've heard people say Josh Brolin could be a good Dutch, and I could totally see that. As for Arthur, they could do a lot. Hell, they could even bring in his voice actor, like they look similar enough, you know? He could totally do it. What do you look for most on a menu when going to a restaurant? The menu jokes! Yay! Now, when it comes to restaurant menus, there's not a whole lot you have to include. You just gotta be minimalistic and clear enough to tell me where I can get my Travis Scott burger. To me, really, there's only two things that matter when it comes to most menus on the restaurant scale, and that's font and margins, really. You don't want to be too cramped, but if you have plenty of space to work with, then, like, it's usually a good thing. What's your favorite type of bread? Garlic bread. Opinion on death grips. What is the best account on Twitter, and why is it mine? This is a great question, really. I've been thinking about who the third best Twitter account is for a while now. And I think I'm gonna have to give it to Tim8Numbers, He's gotten so many great tweets on this platform. What's your opinion on Top Gear? I'm not sure what Top Gear is supposed to be, but I do know about Bottom Gear, mates.
Hammond, you see the Zonda? Oh. Your favourite car in the world?
Yes. No! No, that's not right!
I'm seeing, let me put it down here.
Alright, we have some intense political opinions next, guys, so you better watch out. What are your opinions on big ch***ness? Alright, Smash Ads, look. I don't know what you heard, I don't know who told you what, but I'm not saying anything without my lawyer present. Thoughts on Bingus? Now, I know a lot of you Neanderthals out there may not know what Bingus is. It's actually a highly controversial acronym of the Twitter underworld. Now, Bingus, of course, stands for Bringer of International Nothingness and Gangsta Unnatural Sauce. Now, this is a very sensitive issue for some. We have to be very careful about how we dive into this. Oh, come on! Jackson, look at what you've made me say! I'm gonna get sued by, like, 10 individual class action lawsuits. What's your social security number? Oh, it's the government! If you guys know me in real life, you know I'm a huge fan of the government. Ever since they canceled the stimulus check. Government, I would absolutely love to give you the number. Unfortunately, I have actually given it to a different fan earlier today. My boy, the Prince of Nigeria, who asked me to export diamonds to my house. I gotta be there for my boy. Finally, we have very general question, and I know I've asked this a lot, but what are your general plans for the future? I wasn't expecting to go anywhere with this channel. This was just a nice place to use my expensive-ass Adobe deal over quarantine. That said, I do have some large-scale projects planned, so even if this really isn't done with any financial incentive in mind, I can assure you we are going to be making some larger and better projects, and one of them I will reveal to you right here today. I am pleased to announce that we have begun the production for Sleep 2.